my stories and writings. Number 1, recall a memory. Then get inside of the memory to actually re-experience it. Not just a flash or an image, but build up the scene of the memory like a play set and step onto the stage. Describe the memory from the perspective of the other objects in the room. Number 2, pay particular attention to the thoughts you have and order them in terms of their relationship to the past, present, or future. For example, if you have a thought about something you plan to do tomorrow, order that thought into the future. If you have a memory or a thought about something in the past, order that thought into the past. If you have a present sensation, such as a thought about your current surroundings or a feeling of discomfort, place that thought into the present category. Number 3, as you categorize these thoughts, notice where you place the future thoughts, past thoughts, and present thoughts in your imagination. Are the past thoughts behind you and the future thoughts in front of you? Now, take a specific thought from either one of those categories and reverse the direction. If it's a past thought, for example, reverse the thought so that you now see it in front of you. For a thought about the future, reverse that thought so that you now see it as behind you. Now, number 4, take one of the future thoughts that you have reversed and build up a memory of it, just like you did for the past memory in exercise number 1. Place your consciousness inside of that future memory to experience it. Now take one of the past memories that you have reversed and walk into it as if it's unfamiliar, as if you're experiencing it for the first time. This piece is called predictive coding. Hashtag pataphysics, hashtag speculative science, hashtag experimental metaphysics. To perceive the world is to anticipate it. Brainwaves store knowledge about the world and probability of one state of events following another to generate a prediction. What we perceive is determined by what we know, and vice versa. The feedback loop type action exists to validate our predictions. Imagine this. There is no year. There is no history. There is no past. All we have is just stories. Everything we think we know are all just memes. We can never get at the source. Everything is a building metaphor. We define phenomena by metaphor because essence is expressed in terms that we can observe and articulate. Yet, we can never get at what a thing is in and of itself, its source within its own existence and on its own terms, without reference to some other thing, something outside the thing itself to give contrast, definition against the backdrop of the black nothingness of mystery that is contained by the essence of everything unknown. Erasure. We are things against the background, a sea of other things that give the thing in focus its context, its difference. Even these words abstract the notion, as all things are abstracted and far removed. We build more metaphors into language over top of the old ones, and metaphors become like stones or like memes, self-perpetuating, self-referencing, self-replenishing in its origin memory. The creation of language is literally hyperbole. Hyper equals beyond, ballo means to throw, and metaphor. Meta equals over and across. Therein means to carry or to bear. We take practical action words and build metaphor on top of metaphor, trading things in and out, branching off like a tree until the metaphor becomes the thing itself. Language builds up the world in images and makes things interchangeable with action and allows action to hide behind language. You are activating the energy of the act embedded and hidden in the word without actually carrying out the physical action. Language sets us up for phantom actions, which is why the question of what means more, actions or words, is quite often rendered moot because words are actions, taken literally, one stripped bare by its own etymology. Word magic is a shortcut to reality alteration. So now I'm just going to read. I'm going to read a piece of a theory that I'm writing that's going to be coming out in the book. Hopefully, actually, at the end of this month, maybe not, maybe in March. The book is called Black Quantum Theory, Black Quantum Futurism Theory and Practice, and this is the first essay from the book. Black quantum futurism is a new approach to living and experiencing reality by way of the manipulation of space-time in order to see into possible futures and or collapse space-time into a desired future in order to bring about that future's reality. This vision and practice derives its facets, tenets, and qualities from quantum physics, futurist traditions, and Black African cultural traditions of consciousness, time, and space. At the point where these three traditions collide exists a creative plane that allows for the ability of African-descended people to actually see into, create, or choose the impending future. From a multiplicity of possible futures, a practice of BQF allows a visionary to see into the future with clarity, seize upon a vision of one particular future of your choosing, alter, shift, or shape it, then collapse it into your existing reality. It is the inheritance of a BQF creative to manipulate time, see into the future, and bring that future about. Why Black quantum futurism over the present state of reality? Because there is no rhythm or pattern to a linear mode of time. A linear mode of time does not allow access to information about the future and only limited information about the past. In a linear conception of time, which is built into our language, behavior, and thoughts, the past is fixed and the future is inaccessible until it passes through the present. The present moment is fleeting but ever present. Time's direction, however, is not an inherent feature of nature. It only appears this way because we have learned to order and make sense of the world this way. Through Black quantum futurism, we can increase the knowability of the future and the past. This practice derives its foresight and hindsight by studying features of time, sources of change, rhythms and patterns, and causes of change in larger social patterns, as well as patterns in our personal spheres of experience in order to map out our Black quantum futures. Time is change, and to see into the future is to merely to anticipate what changes will occur and what patterns will reoccur. The explanation for the abilities of a Black quantum futurist is rooted in established quantum physics as well as practices inherent to Black and African cultural traditions, both ancient and modern. A theory and practice of Black quantum futurism alters the established order and informs the way that we define the world. The language of the theory is thus guided by the phenomena of blackness, futurism, and quantum physics, allowing for a cyclical, dynamic process of each term defining and incorporating itself into the other term. The term black, as used in Black quantum futurism, is not only referring to skin pigmentation, race, lineage, and cultural identity. Black in BQF encompasses each of those complicated phenomena, but it is also referring to the blackness that permeates deep space, what is commonly known as dark matter. It encompasses the blackness or darkness that permeates mental space and inner space. It refers to the light-absorbing darkness of melanin and the speed of darkness which surpasses that of light by not needing to move at all. Future, as used in Black quantum futurism, does not only rely on a specified distance, if you will, into the future. The future is relative, an ever-forward moving point, and can be as spaced out or as close as one chooses to define it, i.e. the next second, the next day, and the next decade. Before we lived through yesterday and found ourselves in today, the future was today. Futurism, alternatively known as futurology and future studies, refers to the act of theorizing or envisioning possible, probable, and preferable futures. Much in the way that historical study seeks to tell stories of the past or some approximation to the past as experienced by a privileged few, futurism attempts to not only envision what is to come, but to understand what about the world is likely to continue and what about the world could plausibly change. Futurism seeks a systematic and pattern-based understanding of past and present and to determine the likelihood of future events and trends. The most relevant practice and theory of futurism for our purposes is Afrofuturism. Afrofuturistic concepts of sci-fi, fantasy, myth, and speculation bind both the past and the future, delivering them to a now in visual, literary, musical terms, and any other mode of expression that one sees fit to attach the lens to. Afrofuturism is visionary and retrospective and current all at once, in that it recognizes that time cycles, spirals, or can be experienced in many other shapes and at varying rates. These varying time cycles can be attributed to the notion of the African unconscious, which apprehends rhythms and patterns, repetitions as intrinsic to nature. The same rhythms that order the stars and planets are the same rhythms that regulate heartbeat, breathing, and blood flow. Perception of these patterns and intrinsic, harmonious ordering principles in nature led to the world's first calendars, zodiacs, and mathematics created by ancient African civilizations. The quantum aspect of BQF incorporates quantum physics, the branch of physics which studies the behavior of matter and energy at the atomic and molecular micro levels of existence.
The theory provides a mathematical description for some of the strange behaviors and interactions that physical phenomena at this level exhibits, such as wave-particle duality, the ability of light to act as both a wave and a particle, quantum superposition, and other aspects of quantum physics. So that's all I'm going to read from that.